Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. In recent years, the global semiconductor industry has undergone unprecedented changes, and the technological competition between China and the United States has pushed this change to a climax. In this fierce game, China, as one of the world's largest chip markets, has had a profound impact on global chip equipment manufacturers due to its changes in demand. Recently, the financial report data released by a number of chip equipment manufacturers in the United States, Japan and Europe have revealed the huge impact brought about by changes in demand in the Chinese market, indicating that the good days of these manufacturers may no longer be as easy as before. As the world's leading lithography machine manufacturer, the performance of ASML, Advanced Semiconductor Materials Lithography Company, has always been regarded as a weather vane for the development of the semiconductor industry. However, the fourth quarter report of 2024 released by ASML revealed a hint of chill. Data show that revenue from mainland China in the quarter accounted for only 27% of all its lithography machine sales, a significant decline from 49%, 49% and 47% in the first 3 quarters. This change not only means that the purchasing power of the Chinese market is weakening, but also reflects the adjustment of Chinese chip companies in their lithography machine procurement strategies. ASML's performance decline is not an isolated phenomenon, but a microcosm of changes in the global semiconductor market landscape. For a long time, China, as the main importer of semiconductor equipment, is undoubtedly a huge piece of cake for global chip equipment manufacturers. However, with the intensification of Sino-US technological competition and the rapid development of China's domestic semiconductor industry, Chinese chip companies have begun to pay more attention to independent research and development and domestic substitution, thereby reducing dependence on external equipment. Similar to ASML, Japan's chip equipment giant Tokyo Electron is also facing challenges from the Chinese market. Data shows that in Tokyo Electron's revenue in 2024, the contribution from mainland China has dropped to about 30%, while in the 3 quarters before that, this proportion exceeded 40%. And even reached 49% at its highest. This change shows that Chinese chip manufacturers are reducing their purchases from Tokyo Electron and turning to other suppliers or increasing their independent research and development efforts. Tokyo Electron's predicament is not accidental, but an inevitable result of the reorganization of the global semiconductor industry chain. As competition in the global semiconductor industry intensifies, countries are working hard to build an independent and controllable semiconductor industry chain to reduce dependence on external markets. As one of the world's largest semiconductor markets, China's demand changes cannot be ignored. The impact on global chip equipment manufacturers cannot be ignored. Once the demand in the Chinese market fluctuates, these manufacturers will face huge market risks and operating pressures. In addition to ASML and Tokyo Electron, chip equipment manufacturers such as Applied Materials, KLA Tencor, and Lam Research in the United States are also facing similar difficulties. Data show that in the first 3 quarters of 2024, China is the world's largest buyer of chip equipment, buying about 44% of the world's chip equipment. However, by the fourth quarter of 2024, this proportion has dropped to about 25%, nearly half less. These chip equipment manufacturers expect that by 2025, this proportion may further drop to more than 20%. The reduction in orders from Chinese manufacturers is undoubtedly a heavy blow to these chip equipment manufacturers in the United States, Japan, and Europe. For a long time, the huge demand in the Chinese market has been an important driving force for the growth of these manufacturers' performance. However, with the cooling of demand in the Chinese market, these manufacturers have to find new growth points to maintain the stability of their performance. However, in the context of the reorganization of the global semiconductor industry chain, it is not easy to find new growth points. There are many reasons for the reduction in purchases by Chinese chip manufacturers. On the one hand, the intensification of Sino-US technological competition has made China pay more attention to the construction of an independent and controllable semiconductor industry chain. In order to reduce its dependence on external markets, China has increased its support for the local semiconductor industry and promoted independent research and development and domestic substitution. On the other hand, as competition in the global semiconductor industry intensifies, countries are striving to build an independent and controllable semiconductor industry chain. This makes Chinese chip manufacturers pay more attention to cost-effectiveness and independent controllability when purchasing equipment, thereby reducing their dependence on external equipment. The impact of changes in Chinese market demand on global chip equipment manufacturers is far-reaching. On the one hand, these manufacturers will face huge market risks and operating pressures. As demand in the Chinese market cools down, these manufacturers need to find new growth points to maintain stable performance. However, in the context of the reorganization of the global semiconductor industry chain, it is not easy to find new growth points. On the other hand, changes in Chinese market demand will also promote changes in the global semiconductor industry. With the rapid development of China's local semiconductor industry, the global semiconductor industry chain will gradually show a diversified trend. This will make global chip equipment manufacturers pay more attention to technological innovation and independent controllability in market competition. In summary, the reduction of purchases by Chinese chip manufacturers is undoubtedly a huge challenge for chip equipment manufacturers in the United States, Japan and Europe. However, challenges are often accompanied by opportunities. In the context of changes in the global semiconductor industry, these manufacturers need to actively respond to changes in market demand and strengthen technological innovation and independent controllability. Only in this way can they be invincible in the fierce market competition and achieve sustainable development. At the same time, the rapid development of China's domestic semiconductor industry will inject new vitality into the global semiconductor industry and promote the reconstruction and upgrading of the global semiconductor industry chain.